Hello everyone, this is now my 5th game today. 5th chess game, that is. Well, actually 5th game overall today that I'm playing at Fix, and only one of them was a bit shorter time controls, 3 minutes 2-second increment. But this is gonna be a 50-minute game, and also the 3-minute, 2-second increment was a game that I was challenged in by my opponent. This is my challenge, and okay, here we go. Let us see what I can do. Based on the ratings, I should be winning this. But considering I've lost now 2 games today, out of the 4 games I played, who knows what will happen here. One might think that my rating difference against this guy is enough to secure me the win, but my opponent also has a provisional rating, so there's no telling actually about the skill level that Shandu has. Might be higher rated than this, or perhaps lower rated. And the move bishop d6. I have seen this move before, but I don't really like it. I think I'm gonna play d4. Should I have castle? Maybe I should. Maybe d4 was a bit too... well, a move that was a bit too soon to play. This move, I don't think I get out so much. The thing is, if I take on d4, pawn takes, and the bishop is a bit more active than it should be. So I don't think I'm gonna take the knight, move the bishop away, and then see what my opponent does afterwards. Wow, this is interesting. Now I'm gonna take on d4. My opponent probably does take the bishop, but okay, after that it's interesting. Well, I'm threatening here, probably bishop f8, I'm assuming, or actually queen f6. And queen f6 is probably better than bishop f8, obviously. Huh. Okay then. Well, if I take here check, I have to move the... No. I'm gonna take on g7, check, king moves here, queen g4. Protecting both. Actually, my opponent can take an e4 there. So maybe this wasn't as good of an idea as I thought. Then again, I probably don't really care about that move. If bishop takes e4, good for my opponent, I guess. Wow, that move. Didn't see that one coming. Oh dear. I'm in some trouble here now. No matter where I go with the queen, well, I can go here. Knight takes here, I guess, and queen takes queen, knight survives, but this is not something I'm all that happy with. Wow, and actually there was an even better move. Wow, just unbelievable. Incredible. No matter what I do, I don't seem to win anymore. This doesn't help at all. Maybe I'm gonna do that anyway. In order to pin the knight, I mean the rook, sorry. This is really horrible. My rating is obviously too high. Based on this game and some others. Only the first game I played today was something that I can be happy with. These other games are so utterly horrible. Okay. Well now, thanks for the night. I appreciate it. Whoops. Well, yeah, okay, never mind. For a short while I thought that I made a mistake there, but now, okay, this is completely winning for me, I think. Rook here, I just take here and, well, queen takes, queen takes. Should be winning in so many ways. That queen g8 move was an unfortunate mistake by my opponent, which enabled me to get back into the game. Should I go here and take the pawn? I probably should just trade the queens. Be happy with it. I win a pawn here. Sure, now this seems easy enough to win. Perhaps. I mean, I'm up the exchange and 2 pawns. Maybe f5 if I take, then e4 maybe an idea, but even that it doesn't really seem all that good. I think b4 c5 is something I might think about of playing. Rook does not do all that much here. Wow, bishop there. I'm gonna do this, why not? Threaten this pawn. And the bishop, no. My pawn weaknesses are all gone. Maybe my opponent will go with the rook to b6 and try to pressure the b pawn. Should I take or not? Well, if I don't take, then the pawn on e4 might get weak, unless of course I play the... I'm gonna take it. Besides, it wins a pawn. And I'm gonna play h3 and avoid some tricks by my opponent. Well, okay, I'm gonna lose this pawn, so tough. But okay, I'm gonna play it here, c4, c5, perhaps, or just c4. Maybe not. Actually, because it's not so good. I'm gonna go here. Lift the rook to e4. Maybe play rook c1. But maybe my opponent should go rook here. Well, that certainly wasn't a good idea. The king needs to go back. If it goes here, then rook g4 is mate. Okay. I'm gonna go for the c4, c5 idea. Not that it helps me that much. But... well, actually I should go rook here. Well, rook here and then play c5. In case my opponent allows that, so maybe now would be a time to move the bishop away and then play d6. But my next move should be rook a e1 anyway. And now after d6 I was thinking about moving my other rook here and then... well, okay then. That works too. I'm gonna take here. King f4 loses with ease, so that wasn't a thing. I think I'm gonna go here. And there's no way my opponent can actually protect one of these pawns. I mean, that is a possibility, but doesn't really do all that much. I guess bishop c1 now. Threatening yet another pawn. But I think a4 and b5 there. If my... well, no. Bishop here, a4, bishop a3. Threatens this guy. Can't play b5 because rook here falls. So after bishop c1 I have to take here, otherwise I'm in some trouble, and besides, after I take here, now the e6 square is free for my rook, and the king needs to go forward. This certainly doesn't look so good for my opponent, so win yet another pawn there at least. And of course, well, okay, that was a move, but I'm gonna take here, and then it is quite easy to win. Well, okay, my opponent resigns, and for a good reason. There's nothing really to play for anymore. I mean, it's unlikely that I would allow a stalemate to happen, especially when I have this much time left on the clock. Now for the analysis, and well, okay then. So the bishop d6 move is a strange move that has been played before. A relatively high level, actually. The move castles. Most common move, knight d4 then. Played in only 7 games before. The most common move is knight f6, which is a reasonable move, obviously. Increasing pressure towards e4 and prepares to castle. Now against this knight to d4 move, there's two possibilities. Knight takes d4 and bishop c4. The knight takes d4 has been played in 4 games, and bishop c4 in 3 games before. And if I understand this, score properly, then it has actually, yeah, actually the knight takes d4. In the 4 games that it has been played, black has won 3 times. And after bishop c4 the score was over 83% for white. So I should say that bishop c4 is better according to that, but again it's not, I mean there has not been all that many games played in this way. d5 still something that has been played before. Actually in 1 game. And in that white played bishop b3. In that game the white player was rated 1603 and the black player 1359. So that's certainly interesting. Not that it should be in any way in relation to this game, but the black player obviously is similarly rated as in the one game that can be seen in the database, and it was played in 2013. Okay, so computer doesn't really like the bishop d6 move, 3 bishop d6, but it only gives white a slight advantage after that. Nothing all that bad has happened after that. Bishop c4, b5, and b5, knight takes d4. Stockfish thinks that after knight 6 knight takes d4 I should be clearly better. Almost born ahead in material, so. And knight f5 is the only way to actually get any advantage, which is something I did. Well, bishop b7 is a bad move, but not because of knight takes g7, even though it's playable for white. Knight c3 I think was the better alternative, taking on g7, which does make sense in some ways. King f8, and then I made the silly move playing queen to g4, after which I should be completely lost. Interestingly enough, and knight f6, my opponent played the right move. I went to g5, but at the moment it doesn't matter all that much, because pretty much every move should be losing for me. And rook g8, knight c3, rook takes g7, queen h6. In desperation I try to get something done there. Now king to g8. I think my opponent already had the plan of moving the queen to g8, and therefore the king march to h8, but after f3, king h8, and d3, my opponent played queen g8, which of course turns tables, and actually I'm now winning. That was a really bad game from me, but luckily my opponent made this humongous blunder and allowed me to win the game. I mean, after that move there was nothing really to do. Bishop h6 next and it's all over. Nothing to do. Well, okay, thank you all for watching and bye bye.